I have a bunch of mistests. Then on August 30th, I have the alcohol shows up. On September 13th, alcohol shows up, and we have more mistests. So between, I guess, the 16th, the date of this report, and the date you went on the tether back in August, how many times have you drank?
Right out of the gate, the judge isn't confused. She's connecting dots. Missed tests don't just magically happen over and over. In alcohol monitoring, a miss often means someone avoided the test window, and when alcohol pops up right after, that's not coincidence, that's a pattern. So the real question becomes, relapse or manipulation?
6 or 7.
Yeah, you just are continuing to consume alcohol, and you're playing with the testing so that it appears as though it's just a missed test, when in fact, what it is you're drinking.
Hey, Dustin, just state your name for the record, please.
Dustin Duncan.
All right, Your Honor, thank you for recalling this matter. So based on Mr. Duncan's appearance, I would ask the court to withdraw the bench warrant.
Well, you see the violation. The violation was the reason that I issued the warrant in this case.
Right, Your Honor. I've discussed the bond violation with Mr. Duncan, and Your Honor, to his credit, he did contact his community corrections agent and admitted.
When did he do that?
To consuming alcohol. The report indicates that he did, or it may have been the email actually that was sent out by Mr. Casey, where it indicated that Mr. Duncan did call him and admitted to drinking a twisted tea on September 13th, which is what ultimately.
Now here's the defense strategy: damage control. He admitted to one drink before the test flagged him. That's smart legally because judges appreciate honesty. But here's the problem. Admitting to one violation doesn't erase the rest. When you're on bond, even just one twisted tea can snowball fast. Would you give credit for partial honesty or see it as too little, too late?
Led to the positive test on that date.
But
and then obviously we do have other issues. I'm aware of that, but at least he did admit to consuming alcohol to his community corrections agent. I can tell you that based on my discussion with Mr. Duncan, he has started attending some meetings with the Alano Club. He has reached out to Home of New Vision. He's an admitted alcoholic, Your Honor.
Right, Pickett.
I understand all of that, but my other problem is that given the other sort of mistest, I mean, what about on, you say the twisted tea on the 13th, what about on August 30th? What were you drinking then?
Same twisted tea, Your Honor. I've contacted Home and New Vision Country.
Well, I just said that, but you're welcome to say it if you'd like to.
No, I didn't. I contacted Mr. Leroy Pickett with Home and New Vision for a sponsor. I had 4 years clean and I relapsed. I know firsthand I need help with it.
Well, I understand all of that, sir, but so here's part of the problem that I'm having. Not only is there then these tests, he also has then missed tests, of which I would have to assume you're drinking.
Yes, I was.
So I'm going to ask you this, okay. All right?
Okay.
I have a bunch of missed tests. But on August 30th, I have the alcohol shows up. On September 13th, alcohol shows up. And we have more missed tests. So between, I guess, the 16th, the date of this report, and the date you went on the tether back in August, how many times have you drank?
And there it is. 6, maybe 8 times. This is the moment the courtroom tone shifts. Because now we're no longer debating a single lapse. We're looking at sustained behavior while under court supervision. Bond conditions aren't suggestions. They're a deal. The court gives you freedom, you follow the rules. Break the deal and the freedom disappears.
6 or 7. Maybe
Yeah.
8. I had 2 missed tests. I was in the hospital, but I did. Yes, I did.
You just are continuing to consume alcohol. And you're playing with the testing so that it appears as though it's just a missed test, when in fact, what it is you're drinking. And you really, quite frankly,
This is actually a pivotal judicial call. When a judge says you really need inpatient, that's not punishment, that's assessment. Courts see this all the time. People who genuinely want to stop but can't do it alone. Addiction isn't cured by willpower. But here's the tension. How many relapses does it take before public safety outweighs personal struggle?
they need to go inpatient.
You're
I mean, you know you can't do this on your own.
Correct, sir.
Mr. Bowling.
Your Honor, Mr. Duncan is the sole care provider for his 95-year-old mother. I don't necessarily disagree with what this court just stated, and I don't think Mr. Duncan does either. Would the court consider allowing him to be put onto a scram tether pending getting into an inpatient treatment facility?
It's the reality is, in this type of circumstance, that doesn't help.
If nothing else, maybe it would be a reminder with a device on his leg that maybe he needs to call a sponsor if he feels like he needs to drink, or that he needs to attend an online AA meeting at any time of the day. Maybe the tether on his body would give a little bit more reminder than the SoberLink sitting on the nightstand table or the couch side table.
People have some concerns if you'd like to hear.
Yes, go on.
Well, the allegations include that Mr. Duncan was highly intoxicated at the time, walking into traffic, wielding a knife, trying to punch cars, making statements to incite a fight, continued that type of behavior when police arrived.
And now the stakes get serious. Walking into traffic, wielding a knife, trying to punch cars. That's not just someone privately battling addiction. That's someone becoming a danger to himself and others. At that point, the judge isn't just thinking about recovery. She's thinking about community safety. And that changes everything.
Into custody. My point in that is he was highly intoxicated during these felonies. So that's certainly a concern if he were to be released even on a scram tether. At most, I would think the court could maybe consider a release to long-term inpatient treatment if you were to take him into custody. Thank you.
To adjourn the defendant's probable cause conference to September 30th, 2025, 9 a.m. And at this time, given the violations, defendant's bonded.
This is the inevitable crossroads. When repeated violations stack up, the court has to decide: supervision or custody. Jail isn't always about punishment. Sometimes it's the only environment where the behavior physically stops. But here's the bigger debate. Does locking someone up interrupt addiction, or just pause it? What do you think?
None of this outcome should come as a surprise to anyone paying attention. You can't repeatedly violate bond conditions, lie about it, and still expect a judge to cut you a break. Courts only work when people follow orders. And this defendant made it clear he wasn't interested in doing that. Judge Simpson didn't act out of anger, he acted out of necessity. Jail isn't always about punishment, sometimes it's the only place where the behavior actually stops. And contrary to what people think, judges don't enjoy locking people up, they do it when every other option has been ignored. This wasn't about treatment versus compassion, it was about accountability finally catching up. If the system let this slide, bond conditions would mean absolutely nothing. So where do you draw the line between giving chances and enabling bad behavior? Let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.